Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times this Tuesday, August 3, 2021. For today's editorial, drastic action needed to defeat Delta variant. This Friday, Metro Manila once again goes into enhanced community quarantine, or ECQ, as COVID-19 cases in the region continue to climb to alarming levels. President Rodrigo Duterte has decided to enforce a hard lockdown, following days of passionate debate over whether the rise in cases indicated Metro Manila was feeling the initial wave of a COVID surge driven by the highly transmissible Delta variant. The debate has sharply divided the Department of Health, or DOH, and the Octa Research, two entities deeply involved in monitoring the coronavirus pandemic in the country and mapping a strategy to fight it. The DOH has taken the more cautious approach in reporting developments concerning COVID, and understandably so. Its projections, findings, and recommendations are considered to be credible enough to guide the government in forming an effective response to the virus. Octa, an independent group of medical experts, mostly from the academe, is bolder in making forecasts and recommending decisive action, to the point that it has been accused of being alarmist and cavalier. The COVID threat in Metro Manila has deepened the differences between the two groups. Both agree COVID cases are going up by the day, but that's about as far as reaching a consensus goes. Octa insists the spiraling numbers could only mean a surge is beginning to grip the region. The DOH disagrees, arguing Octa's definition of a surge ignores other factors, such as health system capacity. Octa strongly suggested a 2-week circuit breaker lockdown to cut off the spread of the contagion. The DOH said such a drastic measure was premature and recommended instead ramping up vaccinations and strict observance of anti-COVID protocols. The mayors of Metro Manila have rallied behind Octa's call for a hard lockdown. Metropolitan Manila Development Authority Chairman Benjamin Ben-Hur Abalos Jr. said the mayors want aggressive contact tracing, massive testing, and strict isolation. They also called on the national government to deliver the 4 million vaccine doses they were promised and to assure it will provide assistance to residents most affected by the lockdown. Unsurprisingly, business groups railed over the stricter quarantine measures, saying it would kill the momentum that has been building for revitalizing the economy. Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry Acting President Edgardo Lacson said a knee-jerk reaction to declare a lockdown will cause the loss of hundreds of thousands of jobs again, not to mention business losses of enterprises which our citizens can ill afford. Trade and Industry Secretary Ramon Lopez warned the economy may not survive another massive lockdown. We lose 30 billion pesos in wages for a 2-week lockdown. The loss of jobs will worsen the hunger situation. More MSMEs or micro, small and medium enterprises will close down, Lopez said. Lopez said he was confident COVID cases are still within manageable levels. And as long as we have an intensified vaccination rollout plus strict public health standard and granular lockdown, we keep the economy going and save jobs and livelihood. The president must have agonized before reaching a decision. In his final State of the Nation address, he hinted about reimposing stricter restrictions, but added, "We cannot afford more lockdowns lest our economy bleeds to the point of irreversible damage." In the end, he must have realized it was time for drastic action to stem the COVID tide. Now that the president has decided, the debate must end and everyone must get on the same page. The government should be commended for sealing off Metro Manila and the nearby provinces that make up the National Capital Region or NCR Plus bubble by setting up border control points even before the ECQ takes effect. It is an effective first step, but more needs to be done. Contact tracing has to be stepped up, and hospitals and isolation centers must be prepared for a spike in COVID admissions. Vaccination efforts must be intensified. The next 2 weeks will test the government's resolve to stop the virus in its tracks. It may be our final chance to prevent COVID-19 from mounting yet another surge. Failure is not an option. And that's the editorial for Tuesday, August 3, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to our digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.